Bam. We're live. Wow, what a great show last night. I think that was my best show ever with the Dave Castro. I really do. Oh, good morning. Yeah, that was a good one. It was a great day yesterday. I love that. 2 easy shows. Kill Taylor in the morning, Dave Castro in the afternoon, 3 o'clock too, so I still got done in time to watch the UFC, got to work out a little bit. Kenneth, what's up? Good morning. Curious, good morning. Saber, good morning. Christine Young, good morning. Augustus, good morning. Good to see you guys. Sunday. Sunday? Sunday? Saturday? Sunday. Sunday. How about the guy's balls hanging out at the Olympics? So you can watch Super Bowl with your kids and you can have Rihanna diddle her twat. You know, she was rubbing her pussy and then she smelt her fingers. And then you can watch the Olympics and watch a tranny with his balls hanging out. Some really good, wholesome TV for the kids these days. It's really cool. Rihanna diddling the puss. Rihanna taking her fingers and rubbing her vagina and smelling her fingers. I'll never forget where I was. I was at Greg's house in Arizona. Huge Super Bowl party, pool party, whatever. I'd say like maybe there were, I don't know, making this up. Maybe there were, let's say, 40 people there and 10 of us, maybe 50 people there. And 15 of us were watching the Super Bowl and the other 35 people were, could give two shits. There were probably 20 kids in and out of the pool. And the halftime show, Rihanna comes out, and I knew right away, I was like, ooh, these are some pretty strong lyrics. And then she rubs her pussy and smells her finger. I thought it was like a, like when Rich Froning would adjust his balls, or like yesterday at UFC, some guy got kicked in the balls and he reached into his pants. At first I didn't even want to believe what I saw. So I kind of like made up a story around it. Like it was an accident. Somehow an accident she rubbed her pussy and smelled it. Johnny, if I had a choice, I'm looking at Rihanna over the balls. Fair enough. Fair enough. What if you had to make a choice for what you wanted your kids to see because you were trying to enjoy the Super Bowl with your kids, or you're trying to enjoy the Olympics with your kids? I mean, I don't even think my kids know what the Olympics are. I don't think I've ever talked to them about the Olympics. I stopped watching the Olympics when they split it up and they did the Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics on alternating whatever the fuck they do now. I don't even know when that was. Maybe that was 20 years ago. I was like, all right, I'm done. And then when they started adding sports, like even when they added like basketball, I thought it was dumb. I was like, this is dumb. Oh, she was pregnant too. Yeah. My mom rubs her pussy and smells her fingers on TV. It's crazy. I don't know. Part of me, I'm a little embarrassed to even say it because I feel like it's like so saying that I'm old, but like I don't see the world where I mean, that's the kind of shit you would see on MTV at 11 o'clock at night. And you'd be like, holy fuck, I can't believe we're seeing this shit. And then, the generation before that, like my mom's generation, I guess it was a big deal when the camera pulled out and they showed Elvis swinging his hips around. I guess that was risque back then. Now the pelvic thrust that emulates fucking is just standard. Like moving your hips in public or on a video where like you're making the motion of being balls deep in a girl is just normal. It's just I guess that's where we're going. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anyone smell their pussy though. I've seen lots of dudes adjust their cock and balls. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen anyone's balls hanging out of their shorts besides at the Olympics. It's a trip. Uh, but this morning show is hardcore. If you're not ready to go hardcore, then fuck it. This ain't one for you. You ever seen anyone in public smell their pussy? Like, you ever seen anyone, like, your wife or your girlfriend or your sister or your mom smell their pussy? Do the diddle thing and smell their I've never even seen that. I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen. Not that it doesn't happen. I'm not saying, like, if you wanna give yourself a little fucking smell check, but I don't think I've ever witnessed it, let alone halftime at the Super Bowl as part of your performance. Fucking just think about it.
Of Missouri.
I never saw it until I saw Rihanna do it on TV, yeah. Oh, you think she tasted it? I've never seen anyone taste it either. I mean, I've seen someone taste it, but not like that. I've never seen someone taste their own pussy. Not that she actually tasted it, but do the gesture for it. Oh, it's wild. I'm just trying to imagine watching that, like, with my mom and my kids in the room.
Joins me now. Senator, great to see you again. What?
Thank you. Yeah, it's absolutely insane, Megan. It's insane.
Former President Trump, who's running for office again, a few days ago, was shot in the head. He survived the shooting. It appears he was shot by a 20-year-old tranny at a rally from 150 yards away. I guess that's not far. I guess there's guns that have no problem shooting that far, and it should have never happened. It's a consensus, believe it or not. It's a fucking consensus. It's a consensus with everyone. Not one person has said, "No, that was a fucking miracle shot, and that building shouldn't have been covered." No one's saying that. Not one person. Not a Democrat, not a conservative, not a non-politician, not a politician. Everyone is like, "Holy shit, how the fuck did somebody get that close to the fucking, president?" 20-year-old. I don't know why they keep saying, "How did a 20-year-old kid?" Listen, you fucking idiots. A 20-year-old boy is one of the most capable things on planet Earth today. A 20-year-old boy, not a 20-year-old girl, not a 20-year-old a dog, not a 20-year-old rabbit. Not a 20-year-old boy is the most capable creature on planet Earth today on many metrics. And everyone agrees that that they got to stop saying that a 20-year-old boy. How did a 20-year-old boy do it? If anyone was going to do it, it was going to be a 20-year-old boy. He's in the perfect fucking retarded. 20-year-old boys are retarded for the most part. I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's cool being retarded when you're a 20-year-old boy. It's fun. It's an awesome age. That's why those creatures need direction, because they'll do stupid shit. But they're completely capable of fucking anything you train them to do, tell them to do. A 20-year-old boy is like a 2-year-old Labrador. You ever seen a Labrador at the beach? For those of you who live by the beach, it could do anything. You could throw a tennis ball out, it can fucking surf a 20-foot wave, dodge 3 great white sharks, and bring the ball back to you. And it can do it 600 times in a row. Your arm gives out before the dog gives out. That's what a 20-year-old boy is. 20-year-old boy is completely fucking go machine. A go machine. An ejaculating, running, throwing, best eyesight it's gonna have in its lifetime. It's peak performance shit. It's super malleable. It can be told to do anything. It can be convinced of anything. And this 20-year-old guy got up on a roof that everyone agrees he shouldn't have been on. Everybody agrees. And he fucking shot the president of the United States in the fucking head.
And here's what the whistleblowers, the latest whistleblowers, we've had a number of them come forward to my office. Here's what the latest said just yesterday, that in fact, law enforcement had designated at least one individual, maybe more, but at least one, whose job it was to be on the roof, not in the vicinity, not around, on the roof. And this person, I don't know if it was a he or a she, but this person, according to the whistleblower, decided, oh, it's awfully hot that day. And so they abandoned their post, never went back to the roof. And that is why the roof was left wide open. It wasn't because of the slope, contrary to what the former Secret Service director said. No, it was because this law enforcement individual just didn't want to be on there. But Megan, there's more. Whistleblowers also tell me that law enforcement were supposed to be patrolling the perimeter of that same building. I've been there, Megan. I've seen it myself. I went last week. I took my own team because I don't trust any of these people to give us the truth. It's American Glass Research Building number 6. Megan, it's a low roof. You've seen it. We've all seen it now in pictures. It's a low-slung building. There was supposed to be law enforcement patrolling the perimeter. They weren't doing it either. Instead, because of the heat, again, whistleblowers tell me that law enforcement went inside the building.
Now, listen, you know what you could have done so easily? You could have gathered another 20-year-old. You could have got another 20-year-old kid, a boy, a card-carrying boy with a fucking cock. And you could have said, hey, under no circumstances, this is what you could have said to him. This is how capable they are. You could have said to him, hey, under no circumstances is anyone to climb on this roof. And any fucking retarded 20-year-old boy, we've established that's the baseline for being a 20-year-old man, could have taken those orders and executed them at the highest level better than any human being, retarded, non-retarded, man, woman, anything, than anyone else. But yet the cops couldn't do it. Like, you could have taken me at 20 years old and been like, hey, Sevon, here's a fucking gun. And under no circumstances is anyone to get on that roof. And there's no way anyone would have got on that roof. There's no fucking way. Give me a gun and a bottle of water. I would have never, there's no way. I wouldn't have been, it's too hot. I wouldn't have been nothing. If I was on that roof and the roof got too hot for my feet or something, I would start dancing like a lizard. I would have squatted down. I would have pulled my shirt up over my head. There's no way. And yet, for some reason now, the story is that it was too hot up there. And so a 20-year-old boy, the dumbest and most capable creature on planet Earth. It's not how did a 20-year-old boy. It's like, yeah, of course it was a 20-year-old boy who did it. I had a 20-year-old tell me the other day, kid from Texas, hey, me and 12 of my friends could have protected Trump better than those people did. And I believe it. This kid was strapped at 5. It's nuts. It's nuts. It was too hot.
So you got the roof abandoned, you got law enforcement inside the building in the air conditioning, and you have the building essentially open. And Megan, you can, sometimes it's hard to see from the pictures, but I can tell you, having been there, there are air conditioning units, really large air conditioning units on either side of that building. It's easy to get on that roof. I mean,
oh yeah, there's no roof a 20-year-old boy can't get on. It doesn't even matter, air conditioner or not air conditioner. The shit that Spider-Man does, all boys can do when they're 20. We can climb anything. There's nothing that can stop us. Remember that 20-year-old kid I had on that just climbed up the side of buildings? It's not a 20-year-old girl doing it. It's not a 40-year-old man. It's not a 6-year-old man. It's a 20-year-old boy. They can do fucking anything. They can do anything but be smart. A 20-year-old, Kenneth DeLab, a 20-year-old boy driven purely by hormones and instinct. Yeah. It's just, it's nuts. Everyone keeps saying that, but he was only 20. How did a 20-year-old, like, dude? Listen, you could just ask any 20-year-old boy. You could be like, "Hey, you want to do something fun? Here's a bottle of Jack Daniels, and all I want you to do is take this gun and climb on the roof, and then when the guy is over there talking, shoot him." 20-year-old boy be like, "You sure that's a good idea?" Yeah. Oh, dude, everyone, it'd be cool. You'll get tons of Instagram followers. Done. Idiot world. How about those people? There's also this story going around. Maybe you guys know it better than I do, where people were, I guess, in Vegas or wherever, they were betting that Trump was going to lose the election, and the bets went skyrocketed right before the shooting, or something in the stock market. They were shorting something. That shit again. Same thing that happened in 9/11. Anytime I talk shit about Canada, by the way, you can just assume I'm also talking shit about they shorted DJT stock. They shorted DJT in stock market. Donald J. Trump. Crazy. Oh, thank you, Chase. One caveat. Not if that 20-year-old had blue hair and thought he was a she. Yeah, those ones. Well, that's the thing. That's how capable 20-year-old boys are. They could even change themselves into a girl. But once they go there, they're probably not. Well, they still could be a good shooter. Oh, Truth Social. The Truth Social stock, Donald Trump's social media company, they shorted the stock right before he got shot in the head. Wild. Wild, wild, wild. Anything I ever tell you about Canada, you can also just assume California is identical. It's the same. It's where the Canadian experiment is happening in the United States. Here we go. When I was a kid, it was illegal to kill yourself. It was, yeah, you're not allowed to do that. It's against the law.
Do one stat to prove my point. Just one.
Go ahead.
But you can kill babies. You can pay someone to reach up. If you're a girl, you can pay someone to reach up into your uterus with a baby in there, and with forceps, and grab the baby and yank out parts of it. You can have it grab the head and rip the head off, or the arms. You could have the baby dismembered inside of you and killed. You've been allowed to do that for a long time in California. You could have other people killed legally, but you couldn't kill yourself. It was BlackRock shorting 12 million shares. And then we all know why that's weird, is because that kid, the shooter, that 20-year-old capable young man, Mr. Crooks, was in a BlackRock video a couple years prior. Promotional video. Coincidence.
It takes one. This is how ridiculous this is. Okay, you ready? In 2016, Canada legalized medical assistance in dying. So did California. California has the same population as the entire country of Canada. Okay. In that time frame, California has only mated, meaning assisted suicide, 893 people. How many do you think Canada has?
I'm going to assume it's ridiculously high.
Give me a number. Come on, play with me here.
12,652.
Over 50,000.
50,000 people have killed themselves in Canada since 2016. So you're 47 years old, you're in a shitload of pain, you're dying of something, and they let you kill yourself. You're a drug addict and it's too hard to quit, so you kill yourself. They even let kids kill themselves. Did you know that? They even let kids kill themselves.
Oh, smokes.
Canada is a predatory behavior. They're trying to include children down to the age of 12, mentally ill, homeless, and addicts, instead of giving them palliative care. I'm going to give you one.
Is it fucking nuts? But Sevon, people should have the right to kill themselves. Okay, I'm open to that. Here's the deal. You start letting people kill themselves. You start making it okay to kill babies. The whole perception and value around life just fucking dwindles. Caller, hi.
Hey, good morning, Stefan.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, question
Yes.
on the whole Trump shooting thing.
Yes.
Like, so I am a Trump supporter, but like when I was watching that whole thing play out, it really looked fake to me.
Tell
You know,
me.
regardless of what people say, none of it makes sense that all that could happen. And say you're Donald Trump, are you going to trust the Secret Service? You're a billionaire. You don't think he has his own security go over stuff and plan things out? I mean, it just, nothing positive comes from that. And all it does is just divide us. The whole thing just played out. Just none of it makes sense.
Give
for
me
all
your
that to
theory.
happen.
Give me your theory. Do you have a theory? Like just a rough theory? I won't hold you to it. I'm just curious.
Yeah,
Like,
my
what's your-
theory is both parties are controlled by the same person. We're all puppets. All they do is divide us instead of us come together. The sad part is it's just the left is just so batshit crazy with the kids and shit. It's hard to like get along with any of them. But the fact that like, so when Trump was president, they stole the election from him. Nobody voted for Biden. I mean, Trump had boat parades the size of states, and he wasn't able to stop voter fraud while he was president, right?
I agree with you
they stole it from
100%.
him.
I agree with you. I'm
Now
with you.
he's not right. Now he's not president. What makes him think that that he can do absolutely anything again? That they're going to steal it from him again? What's the point of running? And then all this, I just feel like it's just to divide us, to get us into this crazy. It's like a comedy skit. It's
Do you
almost like we're watching SNL on TV.
I agree with that. Let me ask you this. Do you think he's in on it?
You know what's sad? In the beginning, I didn't think so. I don't think he is. If you look like at his history, right, with like Epstein, he had no part with him, and like certain celebrities, he's a non-drinker, this, that, but he's a billionaire. You know what I mean? It's like, do you think he's in on it? I didn't think so in the beginning. Or maybe he did set this one up himself just so he can get more people to support him, or maybe change the way people have their perspective on him. I just don't know. I just feel like we're in a comedy skit. And then you look at the people in Congress. It's just the laws and the things they do, and people don't care. It's so crazy what they can do and break the Constitution and all this stuff, and nobody cares. So I honestly just feel like it's a show, and we're living in the Matrix. Like, I really can't believe any of this shit is really happening or going on, and people are just, they believe anything, man. It's wild to me.
Let me propose this to you. So yesterday I had Dave Castro on, director of the CrossFit Games, and when I asked,
I watch you guys.
okay,
Yep.
and when you talk to him about like the Spirit of the Games award or the Rookie of the Year or any of those things, my takeaway is that he's not involved in that. He's not involved in that at all. He takes responsibility for it at the end of the day, but really, it's like, hey, man, like that's. I'm almost embarrassed to ask him about it because it seems like so far
Yeah.
out of his view, and rightfully so, because he should be delegating that to his teams, right? And my thought is that I have to assume that if you're someone like Trump, you don't fall into the minutia of anything your security's doing, that really you just hope you can delegate that and move forward and focus on what you're doing, which is kissing babies and saying the right things that come out of your mouth. That being said, if that's the narrative,
I see what you're saying.
if
Right.
that's the narrative, I just can't expect him to be involved in that at all. Zero. But are you on the side of the freeway? Did your car break down?
No, I'm going for a bike ride. I got an Ironman coming up.
Oh.
I called you. I think I did a FaceTime you a year ago. I was running a marathon. And you guys answered.
Oh,
I
yeah,
had the
that was
CEO
cool.
shirt on.
God, you don't sound
Yeah.
you don't sound like a guy who does Ironmans, or if I was judging you just by your voice with my extreme discrimination and
No,
prejudice.
I used to own a CrossFit gym for a while. Did CrossFit for 10 years. Bunch of certs. Love it. Swear by it.
You sound like you own an
had 3
auto body shop. Your voice sounds like you
No,
own an auto
I'm an
body shop.
elevator mechanic. I'm an
Oh,
elevator mechanic.
okay,
So
that
yeah,
works.
I do. Heavy repair.
Yeah, okay, that works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your voice
Yeah,
sounds like you've
well-
held a wrench or two.
That every day.
Okay. And but you're a Renaissance man. You also do triathlons and marathons. Crazy.
You got to stay moving, right? Yeah, I had 3 shoulder surgeries from mountain biking. I fell mountain biking, and my arm is just not there anymore. But so you got to stay doing something. Can't be fat.
Isn't it weird how prejudice and discrimination work so well? I was like at the 50-yard line.
Right.
Oh, tell that guy to get off that Harley. Harleys are bad.
I know. Sorry, I'm on the corner. I just had to call in and pull in.
Yeah, I don't know.
And,
I don't know what's
speak my
going on.
mind.
I don't think you sound crazy. That's for sure. I mean, it's truly.
I mean, the kid's in the video. This 20-year-old kid, the ladder's there. Where'd the ladder come from? I mean, they don't scope out the scene as they're checking it. I mean, and he's a billionaire. You know what I mean? He has top-notch his own security. It's like, I'm sure he has a Secret Service, but I'm also sure he has his own personal guys. You know what I mean?
Hey,
And
dude, how long before one of the mechanics sabotages that giant plane of his?
You know, you think about that too, and that's why I'm like, we're in the Matrix, man. You like, you think about all this stuff. You think about the plane, Boeing, all this stuff going. It's like they were preparing us for, plane crash, with all the Boeing parts falling off the plane. And now all of a sudden, you haven't heard nothing about a plane falling apart in the last couple of months. It's just even 9/11. So I'm from New York, right? Born and raised in New York. Even 9/11. All my fireman fathers, nobody ever seen a plane hit those buildings. And then building 7, 3 blocks away, 40 stories. Nobody believes shit. And if they're willing to be able to do that, they can do whatever the fuck they want. And people just don't care. You know what I mean? People talking about the Trump shooting, they should be talking about 9/11 still, because clearly, no guys who live in a fucking dirt village, wipe their hands with their ass, are going to fucking do something like that.
Wait a second.
I don't know.
You suspect that maybe even the footage of the planes hitting the building is fake?
There's nobody in New York City. No New Yorker's ever seen a plane. Not one New Yorker. On TV, you did, on that bullshit screen.
Right.
But in real life, you talk to firemen, anybody, nobody's seen a plane. And then even the original footage of 9/11, of the news cameras down there, everybody was just screaming about explosions. Nobody ever talked about a plane. You've seen a plane crash. There's parts, wreckage, debris. You can identify that was a plane. There was nothing. And yet they said they found the hijacker's ID the first 5 minutes after the fucking buildings collapsed. It's an office building, 110 stories. Not one chair, not one phone, not one filing cabinet was found. Pieces of paper, nothing. But yet they find the pilot's hijacker's ID. None of it, man. And building 7 is 3 blocks away, a 40-story steel structure. Didn't get hit by a plane, but collapsed in 30 seconds. That's the true story you got to look at. If you don't want to look at the 2 buildings, but what about building 7?
Well, how about the fact how about this thing too? How about the fact there's no footage of a plane hitting the Pentagon?
In the Pentagon,
that
0. There was
that's
3
bizarre.
burnt windows.
Yeah,
dude, 3 burnt windows they showed, right? The most secure building. And hey, and even in Pennsylvania, the plane we shot down, they showed a burnt patch of fucking grass. You see more debris on the side of California highways than you see when an area where they supposedly shot a plane down. So that, if the government can do that, they can do whatever they want. Look, hey man, they just forced people to get a shot in their arm. A private entity made billions of dollars off of it. You need the shot to go to work, keep your job. They get all these illegals coming. They don't need the shot. We give them money and they get health insurance. But we're going to take that away from you if you don't get this shot, the taxpayers. And people said, okay. And then they signed their kids up for it too. They listened to a guy on TV who can't even read or write telling you what to put into your kid. And these people lined their fucking kids up for it. The world is sick, man. You can't fix that shit.
I saw some girls being interviewed yesterday, and this guy proposed to them. Would you rather have the right to, if you could only keep one, the right to vote or the right to have an abortion, to kill a baby inside of you? Which would
Jesus.
you choose? And the girls choose their right for abortion. I was like, oh man, we're in a
Hey, you
tough
know what's
spot.
sad about that?
We're
Like,
with some retards.
right.
We're hanging
I
out
have
with
the
retards.
same kind of point of view, like with abortion. It's not my position to tell a woman what to do with their body. I do think there may be certain, if you get raped or this or that, maybe it should be okay. But the way we celebrate killing babies, they cheer for it like it's such a good fucking thing. When life is so precious and important, it's a sin. And that's why it's so hard to connect with that shit. It's like these people cheer about killing babies. Yes, we need, and it's sad. It's so sad the way we look at life. But hey, man, I'm gonna get going. You guys
All right.
rock, man.
Okay,
You
cool.
guys are awesome, man. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Be good, Sevan.
Cheers.
Hey, bye.
Bye, brother. Patrick Lang, nobody celebrated killing babies. Nobody. I mean, that's just fucking blatantly false. You could go on Instagram right now and find people celebrating killing babies, whether it's the Palestinians celebrating the death of Jew babies, or Iranians celebrating the death of American babies, or whether it's fucking young women celebrating the death of how happy they are to have an abortion. And you could say they're faking it. I'm down with that, because I can't fathom it either. I was watching Charlie Kirk video the other day, and he was saying that people are inherently bad, and the problem with the left is that they think people are inherently good. And maybe that's my problem too. And he went on to say that, like, his reasoning for why he said people are inherently bad is he made the presupposition that the people who were killing the Jews in Germany were didn't care. And I think that that's absolutely not true at all. I think that's absolutely not true at all. In that book, Mouse, the book that won the Pulitzer Prize that the guy wrote, it's a 2-volume graphic novel. It's like a comic book. The guy wrote about his grandfather's experience in Nazi Germany. Dude, it got so bad that it was even Jews against Jews. I mean, that's like the whole, for me, that was the entire takeaway of the book. That basically the killing was so bad and the rounding up of people was so bad that anyone would do anything. It's like drowning. I just imagine it being in a pool, and they throw you in a pool, 40 people into a pool, and none of them can swim, and only 10 are going to survive, and those are the ones who can fight their way to the top and stand on the dead bodies. That's what it was like. I don't think, and I met a guy one time, a physicist who had a building named after him at UC Berkeley, one of the schools there, and he was in Hitler's Navy. And I said, "Why would you do that?" And he said, "Dude, it was kill or be killed." I don't think there's that Netflix documentary that there's a Netflix documentary out there about China's one baby policy. And it's a fascinating documentary. It's fascinating for a bunch of reasons, but basically what they were doing, because there was a one baby policy, is people were either throwing the girls away, killing the girl babies, or they would just leave the babies outside at night. And then it started a huge black market for babies, because there were all these extra babies that no one wanted, female Chinese babies. And so you would leave them out at night, and they interviewed a guy who would just cruise around the streets, like, at 4 or 5 in the morning and collect all the babies and sell them on the black market. But they interviewed this one lady who did like 50,000 abortions. It was something crazy like that. One doctor alone. And she's, it's not that she's evil. It's that I didn't see she was evil, but it's that she's completely like broken inside. I don't think we are inherently bad. When I'm standing next to a fisherman and he pulls a fish out of the water, and it's like, I remember as a kid, and it's like flopping around at the side, like I feel my tear ducts turn on. I spoke to a guy who was a tracker in Utah, a cowboy guy named Kevin Bongard. Many people argued he was the best tracker for mountain lions in the United States of America. And I asked him if he felt bad, and he said, yeah, actually I do. I don't know. That doesn't sound like we're inherently bad. That sounds like we're inherently good. So you won't be going hunting anytime soon with Rich. I'm actually going hunting today, right after the show. I'm leaving a little early from the show today to go hunting with the boys. They're going to shoot a squirrel and eat it. I'm very curious how one of my boys is going to react. One of my, I don't even kill spiders or flies. You know, I shouldn't say I don't. I try not to even kill spiders or flies in my house. I try to pin flies up against the window and throw them out the door. You know what I mean? Like they're buzzing around the window and I try to fucking grab them like that and then walk them to the door and throw them outside. Yeah, they're going to eat a squirrel. Yeah. They are. There will be crying. I know. I think my boy Joseph is not meant to kill shit. That's for sure. So should be interesting. But they really want to do it. Saber and Kelly, not on topic, but 3 weeks ago, someone mentioned a scene on The Boys where a tiny superhero crawled up a guy's anus. Watched it last night. I don't think it was that particular body part. Yeah, someone told me yesterday that he crawled up the penis. I guess I don't know the difference. Yeah, you're right. I had that all. Yeah, all this shit, right? I kill flies, but other insect spiders I do, and I always save bees and wasps from the pool. Yeah, same thing with the pool, right? You put your hand underneath them and you fling them out. You don't fucking slap the water and fucking kill them. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Aren't squirrels rodents? What's that mean? That sounds racist. A wad zombie definitely crawled inside the penis. All right. Oh, what does that mean? Aren't they rodents? What does that mean? What does that mean? I knew you did that. I knew you did that to yourself, by the way, Pat. I see you do that to yourself all the time. I suspect. Careful. I'm about to fuck you up. Okay, here we go.
But doesn't it insult you that somebody is only in a position that they're in because they're black and they're a woman and they need the vote? They could give a dang about anything else? That she's intelligent? That she's smart? That she's a great speaker? She's a joke. She make black women look like a joke. She make us look like we goofy. Yeah, you know, what's the line she say? She repeat the same sentence 10 different times.
Imagine what can be and be unburdened by what has been, you know?
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened
By what has been.
what we can see, what we believe can be unburdened by what has been.
What can be unburdened by what has been.
She don't know what she's saying, probably because she's nervous. But guess what? When she was in there putting them niggas in jail, she wasn't nervous being a prosecutor. She knew exactly what to say. She knew exactly what to do. She ain't that innocent. She ain't that innocent. Sorry. Do a little bit more research. Be a little bit more confident in this season. Don't be a dummy. Don't follow the sheep. Do better. Do not. But doesn't it insult you?
Kamala. Miss Harris. Running for president. That's a vegetarian word salad. And then, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, at the Olympics, nice wholesome event to watch with your kids. God, Europe is such a shithole. Homeboy's balls. Look at this dude. His balls are hanging out. This is fucking wild. This is at the Olympics, the opening ceremonies. Balls, you can see his balls hanging out on all central TVs from North Korea to Cuba, brought to you by Macron. One performer suffered an embarrassing X-rated wardrobe malfunction. Not wardrobe malfunction. Listen, your balls would never do that on accident. As I'm an expert regarding the balls. The balls. The balls. Unfucking believable. So we go from Rihanna rubbing her pussy and smelling it. Super Bowl halftime show to the Olympics where a tranny has his balls out. I did see something yesterday that is probably one of my favorite clips in the entire history of the internet. I wonder if the elevator mechanic thinks this is staged. This is fucking unreal. I want to title this The Protected Class. This video is so fucking unreal. Transgender man claims transphobia after a woman accidentally walked into him outside a chicken shop. A chicken shop. Racist. Because the woman's black. This is fucking, if you haven't seen this, just enjoy. Pull your bowl of cereal close to you, take a big scoop, shove it in your mouth, and just enjoy this. This is absolutely fucking amazing.
Ran into me because you're a transphobe and you're having a bad life.
I have trans friends.
So why did you walk into me like that?
You're looking for problems and you're purposely antagonizing me.
Am I?
So I'm going to give you a minute and then I'm going to call the cops. Because you was going in that direction and now you're following me to this location and I'm going to stand here for 1 minute.
You antagonized me.
Okay, what's your name?
You're a black woman calling a
What's
cops
your
on
name?
a trans woman.
You're a black woman calling the cops on a trans woman. Dude, this is a fight between the protected class. This is how I imagine it being in the military, like when you don't salute, like you fuck up the rankings. Now, trans people are a component that's part and parcel with them is they're fucking crazy mentally ill, right? Like they're fucked up in their head. Something's wrong with them. The elevator don't go to the top. That is not true with black women. And so, just based on just the rough thing that we know of the protected class, we have one person who's crazy now fighting with another person who somehow got sucked into the protected class. You know what I was tripping on yesterday? There'll be more of that in a second. Hold on. We'll get back to that in a second. Before George Floyd, a couple of years before George Floyd, I remember seeing Black Lives signs like in Portland and in Berkeley. And I always thought, when I saw those, oh, this is kind of cool. Because I thought it was internal dialogue for the black community. Like I didn't think why the fuck would I need to know that Black Lives Matter? Like I didn't think it had anything. I thought it was like something like, I don't know, the NAACP or the United Negro College Fund was doing, or I thought it was just some like, I thought it was like something internal to some organization, a black organization. I had no I had no idea. It just didn't make sense to me to be any other way. I wholeheartedly just believed that. I was like, oh, this is cool. They're doing what it's somewhere like between 48 and 55% of all murders in the United States are done by black people, and of those, like 96% of them are against other black people. And I knew that stat, and so I was like, oh shit, this is fucking way cool that they're doing this. Yeah, like the Bloods and Crips. Like I thought it was for them. Because that's the way it was when I was a kid. That's the way it was. Like the news cameras would go into Richmond or Oakland, and there'd be like some fat lady with like a stroller, and she'd be like, "We gotta stop killing each other. We got to stop killing each other." And it was like that. Or there would be some preacher, some black preacher, and he'd be saying that to the news cameras. So I wholeheartedly believed it was that. It's crazy that it's like for anyone else. It's what's wild. Okay, here we go.
You ran into me.
You ran into me
because you're a transphobe.
So first of all, the whole affect is fake, right? So it's just a fake person. It's performance.
And you're having a bad life.
I have trans friends.
So why did you walk into me like
I have trans friends. I swear they sound like they're from California.
that?
You're looking for problems and you're purposely
Am I?
antagonizing me.
Am I?
So I'm gonna give you a minute and then I'm gonna call the cops. Because you was going in that direction and now you're following me to this.
Do you think this is fake? Do you think that maybe this thing is whole setup? Every time I watch it, I think it's fake. See how she reaches in front of the camera so we can see her arm is black? You think that it's just the whole thing is fake?
Location, and I'm gonna stand here for 1 minute.
You antagonized me.
Okay, what's
And
your name?
You're a black woman calling a
What's
cops
your
on
name?
a trans woman.
You're a black woman calling the cops on a trans woman. First part of the racist, probably one of the most racist things already. Like somehow there's some sort of rules that black people have to live by. Right there. That, by the way, that's oppression 101. That's it. That's the left. That's the left stuff. That's the left stuff. But you're black. You can't do that. But you're black. You can't do that.
And I just want you to
What's
think.
your name?
I want you to think about that.
Okay.
I want you to think about the fact that you're black and you're breaking the rules. You're off the plantation. Sorry, Massa.
You're a black woman calling the cops
Go ahead.
on a trans woman.
Continue to.
Again, more racism. You're a black woman calling the cops on a tranny. A trans woman. Shut the fuck up.
And I want you to think about that.
We're at 37
And I'm going to
seconds.
pray for you.
I'm going to hang.
Because I
I'm going to
pray-
stop recording at 1 minute, and I'm going to call the cops if you're still in my area. I haven't offended you in any
hit
way.
me on the sidewalk
and you're
with your
following
body.
me.
You hit me.
Honey.
It's
What-
not honey
Okay.
anymore, bitch. It's not
Oh.
honey.
All
It's
right.
not honey, bitch.
We're just going to patiently wait for the cops.
Yes, we are.
This is getting.
You're a hypocrite.
It's
You're a
getting a
liberal
little bit
hypocrite.
more.
You're a liberal hypocrite. Because that's also one of the rules, by the way, the racist rules of Democrats. They keep black people in a box so fucking tight. Black people have to behave a certain way for liberals. They have to.
And you're a bitch. Yeah, I am aggressive. I have PTSD, bitch.
Oh, PTSD, bitch.
Okay,
You fucked with the wrong tranny today, bitch.
You fuck with the wrong tranny. The wig thing's a trip, right? How does someone wear a wig? I would be so uncomfortable wearing a wig. I can't believe they come off that easy. Wouldn't if it came off that easy, wouldn't you be afraid it's always gonna fall off? My hat, when I wear a hat, it stays on better than that. I'd be so fucking. I couldn't do that. I would feel so vulnerable knowing my hair could come off at any second.
Apologize. I'm sorry.
That's what you should be doing. You should
Now the wig pulled off got the fucking black lady fucking freaked out. So now she's retreating a little bit too. I'm sorry.
be deleting that fucking video.
I will not, because I feel.
I have a lawyer. I have 2 and 3 lawyers, honey. I will sue your pants off.
I'm not going to speak
bitch.
anymore.
I
okay?
will sue your pants off.
I'm not speaking anymore.
So I know what you all are thinking. You're not allowed to talk to black people like that. But listen, you forgot the hierarchy of the protected class. Now, it is a white man, but it's gay. You can presume that. Go ahead and presume that. And it's a tranny. So that's two. Two, and then it's a woman and it's black. But it really doesn't talk with the black affect. We only heard like a use. And so she's not probably like, she probably, I'm going to say that this guy is higher on the victim hierarchy because of the genitalia he likes in his mouth and the clothing it wears. Now watch this dude's hair transform. It's fucking crazy. Watch this.
Good. I risk my life every day getting ready in the morning, and you have the temerity to hit me with your body.
I don't know if you guys noticed, but my hands are shaking because
It risks its life every morning getting dressed. There's something about that that's wild to me. That means, God, there's some sort of like, yeah, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
have anxiety currently because of this individual is not
You
leaving
need
me
to
alone.
go. You need therapy. And you know what? You'd be better off in the hood because the hood people, they know how to act.
She'd be better off in the hood. It's close. I'm not going to give it more racism, but it's close. But clearly already we're at racist because black women aren't allowed to call the cops on trannies. That's keeping black people in the box. That I'm pretty sure that's racism, keeping people in boxes based on their skin color. But telling her she should go back to the hood, not quite. But you could assume that she's saying that because she is black, which then would get us back to racism. You belong in the hood.
Okay.
They know how we treat each other. You went to Bard. You have a master's. You have an MBA.
Now here we go. So she's not really black. The insinuation there is that she's not really black because she's educated. Like she's not a full black. She unblacked herself. Like for some reason, there's something bad about going to school if you're black.
I am currently starting to shake more because this individual would not leave me alone.
Fuck you! I have PTSD from being assaulted by people like you.
Now look at its hair. Its hair's all adjusted and shit. Now it's a boy. It's fucking wild.
And by that I mean insecure assholes. I'm not a racist, in case that's where you're gonna racist trans woman attacks me.
Racist trans woman attacks me. I'm not racist. No, you're fucking batshit crazy and you're a man.
Sidewalk. You assaulted me on the sidewalk and then you called the
I think I
cops on
see
me.
lights coming down.
Good.
That thing would make an amazing power lifter. It went the wrong way. It should have gone into powerlifting. Look at those traps and back and arms.
It's taking so long. I looked better than you and you couldn't handle it because you have internalized misogyny.
I look better than you and you couldn't handle it because you have internalized misogyny.
Internalized femphobia, internalized homophobia. You're an angry young lady. You're an angry young woman, and I really wish we could be friends.
I really wish we could be friends. You're an angry young lady who's a misogynist, something called femphobia, and something called homophobia. I don't even know what those are. What the fuck is homophobia? I don't even know what that is. I know what Islamophobia is. It's that you watch TV and you see that these people cut people's heads off they don't like, so when you see them, you freak out a little bit. It's like arachnophobia, right? You see a spider and you see its fucking fangs in the front and you're freaked out by it.
That does not give you the right to hit me on the sidewalk, which is what you did. You assaulted me, ma'am.
What is someone who like if you're homophobic, like you're afraid you're a dude, you're afraid some dude's gonna butt fuck you? Or you're afraid, like, if a dude hits on you, you might accidentally suck his dick. What the fuck is homophobia?
Yeah, please.
What city do you think that is? New York? Philly? Oh, it's New York. It says NYPD on the back there. That's the only part of the video that seems remotely real to me. The police roll up and then they walk over to the police. You don't get to see the police interaction. But other than that, boy, talk about skits. Gay people aren't even scary. No, I agree. They're nothing like spiders. That's why that the LGB people got to drop the rest of the letters. Those aren't your fucking people, man. Those aren't your fucking people. And the poor black people, they even got like a black stripe on the flag now that represents them. Like somehow they got sucked up into the shit. This one's going to be too much for some of you. So if you have stuff to do, this is where you want to go. This one's too much. You guys, seriously. I want to see the viewer count drop a little bit. Nope, not go up. Wrong way. This is too much what I'm about to tell. Most of you are not going to be able to handle this. Please, I'm warning you. I'm warning you, especially if you're from Canada or California. I'm warning you. Now's the time to go do some other shit. Thank you. Okay, there we go. I saw one person leave. Thank you. Okay, you ready? It's undeniable violent male criminals are taking advantage of self-identification laws. This story comes out of Canada, people. This is why you can't vote for Democrats. This is it. This is like, this shit never happens. This is never happening on the right. Adam Lebacan, Canada's youngest violent sex offender, criminally convicted at just 17 years old after raping a 3-month-old. He's been allowed to move to a female prison with a mother and baby unit. But you guys, the story hasn't even started yet. I haven't even told you the crazy part yet. He's 17 years old and he raped a 3-month-old. By the way, the 3-month-old was brutally raped and almost died and had to have all sorts of reconstructive surgery. Yeah, Dan, 1999. Yeah, this isn't, I'm telling you, this is only for Democrats. If you're on the right, you already know all this. You probably should like go take a shit or something and come back. This is only for people, like, if you're confused. This is, and I know what you want to say. If you're a Democrat, you want to say it's not all of us. It doesn't matter. That this is being pushed and accepted and normalized by your party. But Sevon, the Christian church has been raping boys forever. I know, but no one's trying to normalize it. No one's trying to normalize it. 12 daily doses will defend them. I know, it's crazy. I sometimes get concerned for 12 daily doses because I think, hey, dude, maybe there's some things you should tiptoe away from. Men playing transgender card are making a mockery of the law on the women's sex-based rights and protection to access, like women's sports, women's services, and women's spaces in unprecedented numbers, and this is just another disgusting example of how the left is leaning. A violent Canadian pedophile who brutally raped a 3-month-old infant while a teenager was moved to a mother and baby ward after transitioning to a woman in prison. Adam Lebacan, who in 1999 became Canada's youngest convicted criminal violent sex offender at just 17 years old, began identifying as a woman, Tara Dussault, and boasted of receiving transgender surgery around 2018. This thing got a huge 720cc double D titties and a vagina that the taxpayers in Canada paid for while it was in jail. But dude, it gets so much worse. Sometime after the transition, the government paid for that, to have this thing's fucking turned into a woman and then moved it to a mother-baby unit. You know, that's where like mothers and babies are in jail together. Sometime after the transition, this thing was granted permission to move to a women's ward at the Fraser Valley Institution, where he was housed in a cell bordering a unit where incarcerated mothers are allowed to live with their children up to 7 years old. Inmates have reported that this thing frequently menaces the mothers by making suggestive comments and staring at their children, and has even showed up to prison events where children were present, according to some journal. This thing's crime was considered so violent, and his ensuing behavior while incarcerated so unpredictable, he was handed a rare prison sentence with no determinate length. Now, you ready for this? During its trial, he also confessed to drowning a 3-year-old boy when he was 11. So this thing drowned a 3-year-old boy when it was 11 years old, and then when this thing was 17 years old, it raped a baby so bad, a 3-month-old baby so bad that it almost killed it, needed reconstructive surgery. And then while it was in jail in Canada, it was transitioned into a woman, like a porn star, with giant tits and a vagina that the taxpayers in Canada paid for. While in prison, he flung another inmate by her hair and kicked her in the face. I'm a transgender woman and I was born a man, but now after surgery, I am a full woman. I have a vagina, not a penis, and I also have 720cc double D gel implants. This thing also exhibited violence in and sexual deviance in jail. The parole board noted he had been found serving as a prostitute to other inmates, taking drugs, was caught with a homemade knife, stabbed a fellow inmate, and threatened to murder a female prison guard. Canada. Hey, same thing in California is happening. Identical. You could find the same story in California if you searched around for a few minutes. It's really bad in California. They're moving dudes to women's prisons and they're letting them keep their penises, and they're raping women and getting them pregnant. That's not true, Sevon. Oh yeah, it is. Good. Look it up. Look it up. Gavin Newsom. Fucking wild, right? That's Canada, dude. That's where they're at. That's WEF. That's World Economic Forum. That's equity, by the way. That's equity. So when you hear DEI, that's all of it. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion. That all wraps up into that. That's why there is that. That's all the HR departments, people departments, all those people. That's them. That's what they're pushing for. That's what they're defending. That's what they're allowed. Anything goes. Everyone should be happy. Everyone should be allowed to express themselves however they want. Fuck civilization. Yeah. Mike McCaskey, we need a Sevon Boys Club shirt. When Dave said something about the Boys Club, what he meant was, holy fuck, even though I make fucking so much fucking money and I'm so rich from working at fucking CrossFit, I'm fucking deeply jealous of how fucking free you guys are. I understand. I know. I live a charmed life. I know. I know exactly what that means. I know exactly what that means. Xavier DeRosso, former member of CrossFit Livermore, was a guest on this podcast, I think at least once.
Isn't it kind of crazy how after all these years, Black Lives Matter has never once mentioned that over 50% of the murders that happen in this country are by the hands of young Black men who more often than not are killing other Black men? Did their lives matter? Isn't it kind of crazy how...
Men. 20-year-old men who grow up to be abortion doctors. Fucking nuts. Men. They should just get rid of men. I wonder when that happens. I guess they've already started. Joel Patrick. Here we go.
Chris from Mr. Beast is stepping down now because he's been exposed because he likes minors, and everybody's like, oh, we didn't see this coming. We didn't see this coming. You didn't see it coming? Stevie Wonder could have seen it coming. You had a man who's obviously a man who's so confused and thinks that they're a woman, leave their family and go on the internet and pretend to be something that they're not. And then you're like, shocker, they also happen to have serious mental issues and they like children. Wow.
It's like it's the red Porsche. If you're surprised that the guy in the red Porsche has more speeding tickets than the guy in fucking Sousa's Honda Civic, then sorry, you're retarded.
That's a very astute observation. Maybe, just maybe, we should stop encouraging people to be mentally ill publicly and telling them that they're okay and that you're an evil bigot if you don't acknowledge their lunacy. Maybe we should start being evil bigots.
Hey, so that other story you just read, he just described it. Instead of like seeing, hey, this fucking person is really fucked up. They already raped a 3-month-old baby and now it wants to transition. Instead of being codependents and enabling that behavior with our tax money, with our hard-earned money, maybe we should tell the truth. But you can't tell the truth because you're afraid someone like 12 Daily Doses will call you a bigot.
Because it seems that we're the only ones that care about protecting children. Matt Walsh called this out a year ago, by the way. He knew that this was going to happen. But everyone, of course, you know, the right conservatives, you guys are just evil. You don't love people. You don't.
I went back and watched that video. Matt Walsh actually did call it out a year ago. He knew that thing, that Chris thing that was Mr. Beast's right-hand man was going to fucking headed towards this exact problem.
Don't let people be how they want to be. Maybe because how they want to be is wrong. Do you ever think of that? Anyway, I feel bad for Mr. Beast. He doesn't deserve this. Seems to be a good guy who has his head on straight.
What?
But yeah, that's the news. So Chris,
I don't know about that. I don't know how you have your head on straight. I don't know how he didn't know that was happening. I mean, you can't let a pedophile into the fucking Mr. Beast kingdom. It's the fucking kids video making empire of the world. This one, I did not vet this one. I tell you ahead of time. I do not know. You guys chime in on this one. This one's fucking way, 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 way out there. This is fucking nuts. What I'm about to show you. The images of this are gruesome. All right, here we go.
Watch the curse that hit Celine Dion after she did this. She's walking into a nursery with newborn babies with normal genders. So she blows demon dust on them, and all of a sudden, they're gender neutral. So she's running from the cops, but she looks into the camera with an evil grin. Yep, it's a commercial for her gender neutral clothing line with satanic imagery. And let's put them on children. So protect your kids, grandkids, your nieces, nephews from these curses. Now see what happened. Today she's suffering from the incurable disease. And ironically, she has lost her singing voice. Is this coincidence? In Deuteronomy 28, God says he sends incurable diseases to the disobedient, those who lead children astray. Don't mock God, or else this could happen. So pray for Celine Dion's healing, that she sees the truth and repents. If you agree, type amen and subscribe for more Jesus videos. Watch the curse that hit Celine Dion after she did.
Fucking real. Holy shit. Holy shit. I don't usually like words like satanic or demon or evil. I think that they're just I don't even like the word God. I think that they are tools of manipulation to invoke an emotional response. But I don't know, maybe those I mean, if you had to categorize those images, those, I think satanic would work. For those of you who don't know, I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the show, or if I have, I haven't talked about it in forever, but I'll tell you about it right now. Sevan, what's the number one piece of equipment in your garage you would recommend for kids? Whoa. I made 50 videos and I put them on Sugar Wad. And if you want to see, I can't remember how old my kids were when I made them, but they're all workouts that I did with my kids. And I tried to do the workouts without equipment. And I spend a shitload of time with my kids, like every day, like we do something. And so if you ask what the number one piece of equipment is, it's something I got from Tumble Track. And it's basically like a gymnastics set. It was not cheap. I think it's called the Tumble Track. I don't know why they spell Tumble Track the way they do. Tumble Track 5-in-1. This thing is still in my garage. And I just saw that it was $1,700. Let me see if I can find the Junior Bar Pro. Yeah, this is exactly what I have. And this is a so you could buy that programming if you need ideas. But basically I have this, and that mat underneath it, that red mat, I have two of them that are half the thick. That looks like an 8-inch mat. I think I have like 2 4-inch or 2 3-inch mats. And like that thing is used like every single day. And you can raise and lower those bars. You can change the distance between them. All that shit. So my kids do pull-ups on them. We do a shitload of jumping bar muscle ups, like a shitload. That's when you have the bar here and you jump up and push to here, and then you keep raising the bar. My kids do hundreds, thousands of those. And then also at the top, when they're at the top, I have them use false grip and lower themselves into an L sit. We do tons of those too, shitloads of those. And you can put them next to each other and the kids can practice handstands on them. And it's like, and it's big. I've seen people who have it in their living room, but like, my kids live on that. So like when I come into the garage and I work out, my kids will just come in there and play on that and watch me until I'm done, and then I'll fuck with them. Then I'll put them through a workout or something. But they're always hanging out on it. They walk on it, they stand on it, they do pull-ups on it, they swing from it, they can do everything on it. That's like I wish I could tell you it was something cheaper. And then the next, if you're really going to spend a lot of time with your kids, like, and I have them do jump overs on it. I lower the bar as low as I can. They put both hands on it and they jump over it back and forth. But the craziest tool, in their early years, the most common tool I used was extra flooring I got from Rogue. Rogue sells this 2-inch flooring. It's not cheap either. It's like $30 just for a 2x2 foot piece of rubber, and then plus shipping. They're heavy. They weigh 27 pounds each. And I would just do endless progressions with my kids. So what does that look like? In the most simplest way is I would put this 2x2 foot rubber mat that weighed 27 pounds and was 2 inches thick, or inch and a half thick. And I put it on the ground and I would have my kids jump onto it 10 times. Then I would put a second mat and have them jump onto it 10 times. Then a third mat. And I just thought of just endless versions of progressions where you could start from an inch and a half and move all the way. I think I have 15 of them, so I can move up to like 22 and a half inches. And they did one-legged jumps. They jump onto it. They put their hands onto it and vault over it. I mean, they jump over it, just everything, just shitloads of progressions. And we would just do that all the time. And they loved it because it's like you are working out, but it's so fucking scaled. And I would always get them to do stuff that that neither I or them thought they could do, because we would always increase it in inch and a half increments. So, our pomegranate tree is unruly and my sister trimmed it while I was out of town and I'm horrified. Will they survive? Ooh, I know that feeling. Yeah, I think it will. It's amazing how resilient pomegranate trees are. I've had like 4 for 5 years and I've never seen crops on them like this year. This year's crazy. I've been thinking about taking pictures of my fruits and vegetables. My harvest right now is crazy. Even when Dave was here yesterday and I walked him around the yard, you know, he's been coming to my house for years and I've never walked him around the yard. And he was like, holy shit, dude, you do all this? I'm like, yeah, I do. Yeah, this year's crop is nuts. We had a guest yesterday at the house with their kids, and my butthole has been just stinking so bad because I'm eating so many plums. It was kind of embarrassing. So there's that. I need to take a video of my garden and send it to JR. He said his wife wanted to see my garden, but I didn't want to show it to her in the winter. All right. I don't know. Anything more? Kamala? God, Kamala's such a douche canoe. Okay, let's finish with Michael Schellenberg. A devout liberal, ran for governor of California as a Democrat. Good guy. We'll just finish with this.
Hey, everybody, it's Mike Schellenberger for Public. Over the last week, Republicans have repeatedly accused Vice President Kamala Harris of failing in her job to control the border, calling her Biden's border czar. In response, Time magazine yesterday published an article headlined, Kamala Harris was never Biden's border czar. PolitiFact called the claim mostly false, and Axios this morning agreed, writing that the Trump campaign and Republicans have tagged Harris repeatedly with the border czar title, which she never actually had. But Axios itself referred to Harris as border czar in 2021, and there was widespread media coverage of Kamala's responsibility for migration issues that year. Now, to be fair, the person officially in charge of the border was and is Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas. In June 2021, when Harris visited El Paso with him, Mayorkas said, "It is my responsibility as the Secretary of Homeland Security to address the security and management of our border." And as Axios noted in 2021, Harris, appointed by Biden as border czar, said she would be looking at root causes of migration. As Time magazine noted yesterday, Harris's mandate was much narrower. Her job was to focus on examining and improving the underlying conditions causing the migration crisis. But in examining and improving the underlying conditions of migration, that's not a narrower mandate. It's a wider one. According to Democrats, including Kamala Harris, we can't understand the crisis at the border as simply a border security problem. The root causes are war, oppression, and poverty. Just listen to Harris herself in a 2020 Democratic primary debate.
A mother who pays a coyote to transport her child through their country of origin, through the entire country of Mexico, facing unknown peril to come here. Why would that mother do that? I will tell you. Because she has decided for that child to remain where they are is worse.
And the media in 2021 didn't just claim that Harris was in charge of the root causes. The media also treated Harris as in charge of the border itself. In fact, in a now famous clip, Harris tells NBC's Lester Holt that she had visited the border.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making. I'm not discounting the importance of the border.
The media is thus doing now exactly what Harris did then, which is to gaslight the American people about what was really going on in 2021. Biden tasked Harris with a larger and more important role in dealing with migration than the mere border. Dealing with root causes is a core value for Democrats, who have long opposed what they view as an overemphasis on law enforcement, whether in cities or on the border, and an underemphasis on poverty and oppression. Despite Harris's demand for considering root causes, by all accounts, she did little to nothing of significance on this issue. A progressive immigration expert cited by PolitiFact said that Harris's engagement on this issue has been sporadic. She has not traveled very often to the region or otherwise sought to make root causes in Central America a central theme of her vice presidency. And as the Holt interview showed, the media and Harris herself all accepted and recognized the importance of the border to dealing with the migration crisis. As Harris said, I'm not discounting the importance of the border. It could be that Harris decided that dealing with either the root causes or the border wasn't important. After all, it was always unrealistic to imagine that the U.S. could raise the standards of living high enough in places like Guatemala that people wouldn't still want to come to the United States. But Harris never took responsibility for the issue. She never walked back her comments about root causes. She never demanded stronger border enforcement, or if she did, behind the scenes to Mayorkas, for example, it obviously didn't work. All she did was give a speech in Guatemala telling people,
Do not come. Do not come. I believe if you come to our border, you will be turned back.
The latter obviously wasn't true. Now, after voters elected Donald Trump president in 2016, the news media described America as having entered a post-truth era where facts no longer mattered. The media described itself in heroic terms, exposing the lies spread by Trump. Now the media is working with Harris and the Democratic Party to deny basic facts, including ones established by the very same media outlets back in 2021. Why is that? Don't the media know that they will be caught and lose credibility as they are today? I'll describe why I think this is below. Please consider subscribing to Public Now for our award-winning journalism, to read the rest of this article, and to watch the rest of this video. Hey,
Guy's a fucking national treasure. He's America's Douglas Murray, Michael Schellenberg. He's fucking amazing. Complete libtard. So fucking cool. Love the guy. All right, guys. Love you guys. I don't think we have any more shows today. Let me see what's going on tomorrow. Mañana. Lexi Neely. She also just works out in an affiliate and takes classes. Ariel Lowen, V2. Lexi Neely tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Getting close to showtime. Oh, a big show on the 2nd. Tanner Shuck, who's been a guest on the show, great guest on the show, and Taylor Self got into a nasty exchange on Instagram. They will both be on the show, I think, on August 2nd, just prior to me leaving for the CrossFit Games. And they'll duke it out. All right, guys. Kenneth DeLapp, Glinton Things tonight, 5:30 Eastern Time with Jan, Jake, and Poolboy and Sevon. No, not me. That should be wild. All right. I'll probably pop in the comments there. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.